test, Anna. You're the guinea pig. If you're able, we want you to do this on your smartphone.
Okay.
In fact, anybody who has a smartphone, do it on your smartphone. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get to YouTube. And I'm actually going to dictate it. Once I'm going to dictate it into my phone. Then
I thought you did all that yesterday.
As a comment that I can use over and over again. In other words, I can apply it to. I can apply it to YouTube. I can apply it to Twitter.
I thought you did all that yesterday. Dictated your comment into your phone.
I dictated it on my computer. On my phone, I had a problem with that. Maybe I still have it there. Let's see. I'm trying to look for the. Where's my memos? Here are my memos. Where's my saved memos? Does it have that? Do you all know what you're doing?
Anna? I'll talk to Anna for a minute.
Yeah, I'll figure this out while I'm...
Anna,
Yeah.
take your comment on your smartphone and go to that herpes search and paste it in as many movies in a row as you can without pausing. Okay?
Okay.
Just like don't just go from one movie to the next and just keep pasting it and see. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
And then if it stops you or asks you to verify who you are, take a note of how many movies you pasted it on.
All right.
I'm just curious about what...
I can't leave a comment.
Yeah, some movies you can't. Just go to another movie, Ross. Okay? Ross? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't know how to go to another movies. I did it before, and I can't do it anymore. And it even rhymes.
Use your back button to go back to the search and go to another movie.
Okay. 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 I'm there.
Actually cure it, colon.
Shut up.
Cure it, colon. Cure it, colon. How? Period.
And now I can copy my comment and paste under other movies, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. That's nice.
Okay, go.
And that's what you did, yes? Leaving comments under YouTube movies.
Uh-huh.
That's what Bayer was talking about last time, am I right?
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
And I have to turn it off.
The comment on this movie has my latest wording.
Alright.
New paragraph. Wording, period.
What do I have on there? Nothing. There we go. Okay.
Now, I just sent another tweet that has my latest wording on the comment that I just put on it. Hopefully the comment is still there.
Okay, here's that.
I'll do that.
Copy.
I'll do that too.
Alright.
I see the comment. It says Buyer Bunch. So it's in Twitter.
There's one.
The latest tweet. Look at the most recent tweet at the top of the A
Yeah.
list.
That one I got. Okay.
Oh,
This one. Oh, no, no, go back.
my message is too long to be in a tweet because I put my Skype address, which is quite long.
You should just, number one, just use your phone number.
Cookies is one of the most common.
I don't think anybody from the States is going to call me here in Italy.
Well, you have it in Italian, don't you? You should write it in Italian.
Did
Right.
you?
Oh,
Write it in
I wrote in
Italian. I
English.
neglected to say that. Barb, you can write
Okay, never mind.
Sanfeese.
You forgot to tell her to write in
I
Italian?
forgot.
Greg. My
That was a
God.
very big omission because she did all this
Yeah.
work.
You disappoint me.
It was a test of her English skills. I don't need to test that anymore, I know. I don't think of Ross as Italian anymore.
No?
I think of her as a Taizana. I think of, oh, that's Italian. Oh, that's right. I think of her as... she's from
Maybe you should
Chicago.
just apologize for delaying the meeting so long.
I'm apologizing right now.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Russ?
We
Yeah.
accept.
Russ, write in Italian, use your phone number, and
Okay.
and shorten your comments so that it isn't too long.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. I'll go there again.
Herpes is one of the most. Herpes is one of the most common types of sexually transmitted disease.
Oh, I did it. Okay. Go back. I think I did too.
Hey, Barb,
Yeah.
what is Nina Brown's STAR program?
It's a, I'll show you. This woman,
It's what?
yeah, I got invited, I think I'm a VIP.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go get the book, it's this woman in town, let me show you, I'll bring it back, oh, here it is. This woman here, she's like popular with like, you know, the Norma Tarango crowd and all that. And STAR stands for Surrender, Trust, Allow, Receive. And it's actually a really good book. And she sent me a letter wanting me to come to her. They wanted my opinion of something or whatever. And in September, and in the very first chapter, they talk about addiction.
Are you going to,
Something really helped me there. She talked about.
are you going to get her as an ally?
I think so. Yeah, that's what she does. Like, she's got a lot of money and she funds things, and that's what her and her friends do. They live out by where Tony used to live. I don't know how they got my name, but they sent me some information. Had a request to be part of their group or whatever, and then they sent me the book.
Are you going to do the outline? Are you going to speak to her personally?
Well, we exchanged emails, but I'll meet her. I've never really met her in person yet.
Are you going to do the outline with her?
Meet her. Sure. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure. I mean, that's probably why they picked me, because of Deirdre. I think I'll get a chance to present to her group.
What about just doing the outline with her personally?
I could do that.
Have you done the outline with anyone since we've introduced it?
Not out of the Rota, really. Not formally. I could do it with Daryl Stanton. She'd be good.
Do you have any other ideas than Daryl for people who you could do the outline with?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that I know, I guess.
How about anybody? You say anybody you know?
I mean, you know, people. You mean like?
So you mean you could do it with Michael? You could do it with Nancy?
Yeah.
You could do it with
Right,
Kate?
I had people I'd known for a while, but I didn't do anything formally with. Yeah, Maury, all of them.
So you could do this structured outline with like Kate, let's say.
Yeah. I could do that.
You need to practice. You need a lot of practice before you try to do this with a potential ally.
I know this one could be a big ally and her friends, but yeah.
You need to practice this with other people first, without us. Not in the Cure Team meeting. You need to just do the outline with people throughout the day.
Yeah.
So tell me, Anna, what happened with your posts?
Hold on, maybe. So, well, actually, this week I got 4 calls.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, and I talked to them and I referred them all to the website.
Did you do the outline with them?
No, not all of it, no.
Did you do any of the outline with any of them?
Yeah, I did.
So what of the outline did you do, and with who? Tell us the story of that.
Okay, so, okay, I'm thinking of the 2 most recent people who called. I did the Can I Cure thing, and do I have herpes in my body? And I think that's mostly what I did, and then I referred them to listen to that 4.5 hours of video, and then I said if they had questions to call me. So it was kind of brief.
Why don't you spend more time with them?
Okay, I could. You know, I
Why?
thought.
Let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
You say I could.
All right.
Didn't you know
So
that
you
was the whole point of doing this?
Okay.
It doesn't sound like you knew that that was the point of doing this.
No, I didn't. I thought it was, well, the phone message was to refer them.
Okay,
That's
so
what
we
it was
need
the
to
website.
okay, so we need to backtrack.
Okay.
Okay? What are the two things that you can do for the Cure Drive?
So, find the people who can, find the people who can really do this, that can have an effect. And,
What do you mean by
also-
that? What do you mean by that?
So I mean, the people who are willing to do immunics and really take it on, and also that they can help to bring other people into it as well.
Actually, what you're looking for, let's just use the word support, okay?
Okay.
So you're looking to, one of the things you can do is you can talk to people who are capable of supporting the Cure Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that necessarily imply that they're able to cure anything?
No, not necessarily.
What did you say?
I said not necessarily implying that they can cure things,
Well,
but that
okay.
they work.
Let me say this, okay? Do you think it would be possible for somebody who is incapable of curing anything to support the Cure Drive?
Doesn't sound like that goes together, no.
I think it would be absolutely impossible unless somebody can cure things, because within 5 minutes something is going to come up that they can't handle. And they're not going to be supporting the Cure Drive anymore, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what you told me about Keith? I mean, not Keith, God, I keep calling him Keith. Cliff, your ex-husband?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You told me that Cliff, remember you said that Cliff he believes things like this should be free and he won't pay anything?
Yeah.
Now, is he capable of supporting the Cure Drive?
No.
Okay, great. Good to know. Okay, good to know. So he's an example of somebody who is not a supporter. He is not a potential supporter or an ally, right?
Right.
So, Barb, go on mute. Thanks.
Okay.
So if you're talking to Cliff, you're talking to him because you care about him,
Mm-hmm.
not because you think he's a potential supporter.
Uh-huh.
But there's another reason for talking to Cliff, isn't there?
That he could tell other people about it.
No. He can't. Cliff is not capable of telling anybody about the Cure Drive. He isn't capable of giving any support whatsoever.
Okay.
He just can't do it. I mean, right? You just said as much to me, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. A minute ago, yeah.
Yeah, about a minute ago. Yes. So why don't we just stay with that?
Okay.
Okay. You pegged him right. You were right. Let's leave it there. Okay. So that we have these two things you can do for the Cure Drive. Okay. One of them is talk to potential supporters and allies, people who can have. Now, what does it mean to potentially support? Does it mean bring in people?
That's one way.
Or what's another way?
Another way is to join the Cure Drive, make a donation.
Another way is to give us $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you with me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So are you writing something, or what are you doing?
Yeah. That's right. It's potential supporters and allies.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay. So now, the other thing, what's the other thing that you can do for the Cure Drive?
Tweeting. Supporting our...
No. No. Come on now. You know this one. You know this one. We've gone over and over and over. It's two lousy things. Why can't anybody remember them?
Oh, boy.
I can't believe it. I just don't believe it. Come on, what's the other thing? It's one lousy little thing. It's actually a huge thing. What is it?
If it's not tweeting, I don't know.
It's practice.
You know.
Practice. 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 Do you understand what I just said?
Practice.
Do you understand what I just said? I said practice. What is practicing?
So practice speaking to other people.
Okay, there's about 1 million ways you can practice. So rattle off some of them.
Alright, practice. Okay, bumper stickers,
You could,
posting comments on...
okay, look, you could call Cliff and do the outline with him,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that would, see, it would be possible to help the Cure Drive by talking to Cliff if you practice.
Yeah.
If you call Cliff and you talk your usual shit, or if you call Cliff and you tell Cliff to go to the web college, you're not practicing.
Okay.
And it's the same with these people who call you. They are not potential supporters, these people. Those 4 people that called you are not potential supporters. They're fools. They're little guys, poor slobs, they went to the wrong singles bar on the wrong night, and they went home with the wrong person, and they woke up in the morning and they said, what am I doing with this person? And a week later they got a sore on their lip and they said, oh my God, I've got an incurable disease and I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. They're idiots. They can't support the Cure Drive. They can't even support themselves. Some of them have had it for 25 years, the poor things. You know? And what you can do with these people is practice. And if you practice, if you run this outline and you ask the person, how can you support the Cure Drive now that I've given you this? Can you think of something you can do? You might find that the person might actually be a supporter. I'm always willing to be wrong about these things, Anna.
Uh-huh.
You with me?
Yeah.
You know, the person is a very substantial, wonderful person who says, oh, there's a lot I could do for the Cure Drive, you know. Let me start by inviting my 2,000 friends on my email list. I'll do that right now that would like to talk to me about this, because I think this is great. So do you understand?
Yeah.
You might have caught a bigger fish than yourself there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could say, well, would you like to join the Cure team? And the person says, you know, you got an idea there. Maybe I'll join the Cure team. I could do a lot for the Cure. I feel like I'm on the Cure team, see? You with me?
Yeah. Okay.
You're supposed to be practicing. Why? Why are you supposed to be practicing? Tell me why.
So that I can learn how to talk to people.
So that what?
What?
So that what?
So that I can be effective at getting people to understand it and getting people to do it and
No. Look, all of these answers are coming out of your head.
I know.
Your head is a garbage can that you've been throwing shit in for how old are you anyway?
60.
Ah, God! You look like you're 45. So
I think like 42.
I never made you for 60. My God!
Oh,
But you know what? It's funny because I don't look old either. And it's because and I don't feel old or anything. So I get it. But you're probably going to live to be a really old age.
You'll be 104 and people say, oh, you don't look a day over 80.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Well, you got lots of time to do all this, so that's a good thing. But okay, here it is. Okay, listen. Did you get your Netflix subscription?
I did.
Okay. Right, you should write this down. Do a search on Day of the Jackal.
Oh, okay. I know that.
And watch the movie. You've seen that movie already, right?
It's probably been 20, 30 years.
Okay.
So
watch the movie again. You're going to see. Hopefully you'll be seeing it through the eyes of now all the things you're learning. I'm hoping, and you are the reason that you are practicing. You're practicing because someday you're actually going to be on the phone or face-to-face with a real, genuine, potential supporter. Somebody who can bring 1,000 people this week. There was a woman, so you're practicing so that when you speak to that person, you can make that impossible shot.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you're doing it. You're not doing it so you can reach people and get, and all that. You're not. You're never going to have enough people to reach or anything, okay? You only have one thing that you can do that could cause this to tip, and that is to find that one person who makes the critical difference.
Okay.
I'll tell you a story. I wrote to this woman, and I just, her name was Marla Silly, the Fly Lady, and I just knew how to get past her assistants, because she gets like 3,000 emails a day. And I just knew what to say. I just wrote something that got past all of them. And part of it was that I actually wrote to the assistant and I said, make sure she sees this. And that worked. The assistant made sure she saw it. But anyway, she started doing this and she liked it. And she wrote a little mention of it to her list. She had like 250,000 people or 200,000 on her list at the time. And wouldn't you know it, like 3,500 people signed up for our email list within 2 or 3 weeks. And also, we took in around $1,200 that we wouldn't have taken in from $9 donations. Like, that's what one person can do. That's your only chance, is to contact somebody. And so what you're doing is practicing. Now, Barb, with her star thing, I don't know what is in Barb's head or anything, but, what she's supposed to be doing is the same thing. Barb is supposed to be, like stalking this woman so that she can do this outline with this woman And the woman says, okay, I get it. You know, I wrote a story, and I told it to everybody, about a guy named Nate who actually tips Cure into global consciousness. And he's this guy he's a stock clerk at Barnes & Noble who's going to music school in Tallahassee. So he's in this tiny college town, and he's a stock clerk. He has no money. He's barely able to buy himself a chicken basket for lunch, and he doesn't even do that every day because he doesn't really make enough money to buy himself a decent lunch most of the time. He's trying to get a degree in music, and he has actually been a successful musician in the past. He's in his mid-30s. And at the end of this story, he is walking on a mountain with Jane Fonda and a friend of hers. And Jane Fonda is punching numbers in her cell phone and calling people, getting them on board to produce a television reality TV show where people cure things. That's how it ends. And sometime I'll tell you the story about how he gets there. Because the way it starts is he's this guy with herpes. And he decides he's going to cure his herpes on Twitter. And because he's been a musician in the past and he knows a lot of other musicians, he has 1,200 people following him on Twitter who actually read his tweets. And that's the way it starts. Okay, you get... Now you don't have that. You got 41 people who follow you or whatever, okay? You with me? Anna?
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're trying to do, okay? There are two things that we can do. We can talk to somebody who can support the Cure Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing we can do is practice so that when we ever get to talk to somebody who can support the Cure Drive, we know we're with that person. We know what to say to them.
Yeah.
See, because Barb is an absolute master of the language. She's brilliant at helping people cure things and all this stuff. And you know what? She was standing in front of Jane Fonda at a book signing, and everybody had finished and they'd left, and she was the last person, and Jane Fonda sat back in her chair, and she said, okay, Barb, what is it? You want to talk to me? What do you want to talk to me about? And Barb didn't know what to say to her. And we never got her as an ally, and a lot of people are dead right now because in that moment, Barb didn't know what to say to Jane Fonda. There's a lot of people in the ground. Okay, this was probably 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, we could be talking like millions of people in the ground. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
This is a big responsibility that we have here. So just so maybe to do an aside and say something to Greg. Greg, yesterday when we were on the phone,
Yes.
and you wrote a comment, and I, sort of sent you off. You were going to paste that on Movies. You were going to, tweet it and so on. And you didn't do it, and by the time this call started, you hadn't done it. And
Wound up on my phone. I could not get it from the memo to a tweet or anything. I would have to do it. I didn't do it. You're right.
you couldn't get it from the memo to a tweet?
Right. Do you know how to do that? You've done that?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you were in, when you were being taught to use your smartphone, you needed to, find out how to do that when you were at the store. Because this is a big responsibility.
Yes.
And when you walk into this meeting and start leading it, you got to be prepared. And you cannot forget to tell Ross to write her thing in Italian. We can't afford that. And you've been doing a lot of things all these years that you can't afford to do. And it's really starting to show up now. I mean, it's been showing to Franny for a long time, but it's really starting to, because, see, now we're doing more. And the game got faster, and we got smartphones, and we're more in touch with each other. We can see if you don't tweet. We can see you're in trouble. People can see you're in trouble. They can see you're not playing. They can see your head somewhere else. They see it. Now, it wasn't visible before. You used to be able to hide. You can't hide anymore. Your hiding places are disappearing. So you're going to get talked to and whatever, you know. And telling jokes about it is not going to work. It's not going to help. You know, it's not going to change anything. Like, you actually have to be fucking present in your life. This is your life. You know, this could be done with a very small team of people. And in fact, I believe it's probably the only way it can be done, because I just think that, like, the bigger a team is, the more unwieldy it is. And everything I read in all these business writings that I'm reading, they all say the same thing. Like, you need a very small team of very good people. And it's even like going back to Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. And that was what Andrew Carnegie had. He had a very small brain trust. He had about a dozen, maybe 20 people, something like that. I mean, we could use a few more people on the Cure team, but they've got to be good. And the thing is, you are good. All of you are great. In your own way, each of you is great, and you have to be focused and directed and clear about this stuff and about what you're trying to do and when it has to be done. And let me tell you, when you and I talk and I send you off to do something, if you don't know how to get something off your memo, you better ask me right then and there. And know when you get off the call, know how to do it. And I'll tell you right now how to do it. You place your finger on one of the words, and it will block the word, and there will be these two calipers. And then you drag the calipers to what you want to copy. And when you let go of the caliper, it will come up to paste and copy the thing. And then you copy and paste it into YouTube. That's how you do it. It's no big deal. It's just when you're in memo, you just put your finger on the word, and it will block it. You'll see a blue block, and then you drag your calipers. That's how you do it. There's nothing to it. But when I couldn't do it, I remember when I didn't know how to do it, and I was going fucking nuts trying to figure out how to do it. And the guy showed me how to do it, the place, and I still couldn't do it. I would put my finger on the thing, and it would make a little... It'd just make a little line instead of blocking the word, and I just didn't know how to get it to block the word. And you know what he said to me? He said, you just have to practice it and you'll get it after a while. And the funny thing is, I wasn't successful there. But when I took it home, the first time I tried it, bingo, it worked. And then I could do it. And it was so easy and so simple. So that being said, what I want to do now is have Anna and Barb do a role play where you do this outline. And I want you to focus on part 2 of the outline. Okay?
Okay, I've got to bring mine up.
So get the outline up. And Barb is going to be, who are you going to be, this woman, what's her name, Star? Nina Brown.
Nina Brown.
So you're going to be Nina, and Anna's going to be you. And Anna's doing part 2. So we're going to assume that Nina did great in part 1. She got a signal, she felt different, she took a breath, she feels more relaxed, she's happier. Now, Barb, when you practice this thing, you don't have to do the whole outline. You could just do part 2. Or you could abbreviate part 1 and then do part 2, but you want to focus on part 2. Like, do it with Kate. Do it with Nancy. Do part 2 completely with these people. Practice part 2 of this outline. Okay, so we're going to practice it right now. So Anna, can you be Barb? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'll be Barb.
Okay, go ahead.
So Nina, is it Nina?
Yes.
Nina, so, people have cured cancer and heart disease with what you just did, and so can you. So when you cure something, you're in the cult. If something cures curing things, then you lose your membership. Let me show you the Cure Drive.
Cut. Okay, here's the problem with this. Do you notice what the mistake is you're making? You sound ridiculous, by the way.
That was what?
You sound ridiculous.
Do I?
What is the mistake?
I'm reading it.
Yeah, what's the mistake?
So,
is this? Let me ask you something. Is this a script that I wrote for you?
No, it's not a script.
What is it? What is it?
I'm reading it.
What is it?
It's an outline.
Okay, what's the difference between an outline and a script?
Okay, an outline, it just points you in the direction. In a script, you read it word for word.
Thank you.
So,
Okay, so the
that.
reason that you sound ridiculous is because you're reading an outline to somebody.
Yeah.
You never gave yourself a chance to win with it. Do you want all those babies to die?
No.
Take it seriously. Okay, let you be Nina and I'll be you, okay?
Okay.
All right, Anna. So wait, Nina. I'm going to start with the end of part 1. So, how do you feel now?
I feel a little bit more lighter.
Okay. Okay, so you know that's a signal, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that means you've cured something.
Wow, great.
Yeah. So are there any other differences in you?
Just feel a little bit more, happy and open as well.
Well, there's something I want you to take note of, which is that, like, you've done massive amounts of all kinds of growth work. Am I right? I mean, like, you've just done tons of things.
Yeah,
You've
I
been
have done a lot.
working on yourself all your life, and yet, in a 5-minute interaction from nothing, you didn't know what this was, you have changed. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you see what happened for you?
Yeah, this must be something pretty great.
Okay. What this is a cult. It's a global cult. We're all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few of us in any one place, but we're this tiny little group of people who do this. And we show other people how to do it. Most people can't get it. They don't understand it or whatever. You know, they succeed with it, but then they fail because those people are locked into failure, and that's where they will stay.
Mm-hmm.
You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But there is something else that you should know, which is that people have cured cancer. Finito, I mean cured. Heart disease, cured. Ankylosing spondylitis. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
Okay, but they've cured it. Lyme disease.
Wow, that's really
HIV. I mean, I have a friend. I showed him how to do this. 3 weeks later, his viral load was 0 from 3,000.
Wow.
And you know what? Most of these people don't tell anybody about it, or if they tell a person or two, you know, the other person isn't interested, whatever. You know, that's just how. That's the way it is. Despite our best intentions, this has never become something everybody knows about, and that's what we want. See, what we're trying to do in this cult is we want everybody on Earth to know that they can cure things just the way. You know how people used to think the world was flat?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Well, people think herpes simplex is medically incurable, which it is. I mean, it's medically incurable, but people think it's really incurable. Right? Don't they? I mean, you think herpes is incurable, don't you?
That's what my understanding is. But you're saying it's not.
You probably have herpes.
Really?
60 in our population, around 65-70% of everybody has herpes, which means you probably have herpes. Do you have herpes?
Not that I know of.
Do you ever get cold sores on your lip?
No.
Well, then you probably don't. But you still may, because for a lot of people it only shows up on a blood test. A lot of people are asymptomatic, but see, herpes causes heart disease. So if you have it, you want to cure it.
Oh.
And we could test for it in 2 seconds. Like, just test, do I have herpes in any of my bodies?
Let's see. Do I have herpes in any of my body?
Cut. Okay. This is how you get somebody involved. You use this outline and you do what it says in the outline, and then you make it something that's relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a lot of practice starting right now. So you and Barb, back to the role play. Your Barb, go.
Okay. So, so how do you feel after doing that testing that we just did?
Well, I guess I feel a little more expansive, more lighter.
That's great.
Yeah, lighter.
So, so people have cured a lot of different things with this, and so can you.
Good.
So, yeah, like myself, I cured herpes, and I had some other things I cured, and I know people who also cured herpes. And do you have herpes, or is it something that you would like to cure?
No, I've never had that. I know people who do. I've never had that myself. But I know it's tough to cure when you do have it. So that's good.
And another thing that I've done is I've been able to remove traumas from my past. So you can cure emotional things, and you can cure, you can remove things, and you can also add things. Like if you have areas in your life that are difficult for you, you can.
Cut.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What went wrong there? Barb, what was it like to be, what's her name? Nina.
She was, trying to, sort of trying to be polite and let her make her presentation or whatever. I mean, at first you're thinking, well, this is nothing that I can't do already. I shouldn't get how it was that much different than what she already knew or was doing.
Yeah, it was a horrendously weak presentation because, why?
She was trying to just,
What do you
she
think?
didn't feel like a lot of sparks from Anna, which is, or for me, she didn't get like my passion or.
What was the basic mistake that Anna made when she was playing you? Neither of you knows, I guess. Anna, what was your mistake? Come on.
Well, I wasn't able to tie into what her needs were, what her thoughts were, what she was looking for.
Anna,
If I could fix,
Anna, no. Anna,
no,
you didn't follow the outline.
okay.
Did you?
Yeah, I was talking too much about myself.
You did not follow the outline. It says you're doing part 2 of this outline.
Right, okay.
People have cured heart disease. When you cure something, you're in the cult. When something cures you of curing things, you're not in the cult. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
What were you doing?
What am I doing?
What were you doing when you were playing Barb?
So I was kind of stuck in number 1,
You were stuck! Yes! Thank you! Thank you! You were trying to cure something with her! Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You kept saying, oh, what? So do you have anything you want to cure? I cured herpes. Right?
Uh-huh.
Don't cure things with them in part 2. You're not curing anything in this is part 2.
Okay.
Do the outline. Look, okay.
Yeah, we already got through part 1, so it was time to move on to.
Here's what you listen. Here's what you're doing, okay? You're talking to me, and you're doing these classes, and you're being trained, and then you're making up your own way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's as though no one ever showed you how to do anything, and you had no outline.
Yeah.
Like you're treating this like, you have to invent it from scratch. Don't invent it. Somebody already did that.
Right. So I gotta be able to elaborate,
Do
I
what?
gotta work on it.
To what? What'd you say?
To elaborate, on the outline.
Okay, Greg, come back. Can you manage to join us? I'll tell you what. You know how I just demonstrated part 2 with Anna a few minutes ago?
I was not aware you were doing that, part 2.
A few minutes when I played a role with Anna a few minutes ago, you were here. Do you recall it?
No, I don't actually.
What happened? Where'd you go? See, here's another person. It's like you're in this meeting, but you're not, and you like leave the meeting, and it's like it never happened.
I wasn't aware you were playing a role with her.
I played a role. Anna, do you recall me playing a role with you?
Yeah, I remember.
Where I was Barb and you were Nina, right?
Right.
I guess I was trying to get the memos. I was trying to learn how to do the memos. I had my head in my thing here.
Unless you can do two things at once, stay in the meeting, Greg. Anyway, I want you to demonstrate part 2 with Anna the way I was. Right now. So you do part...
If I'll do it the way you did it, but I'll do it the way I would do it.
Well, you could, just as long as you do part 2. You know, I don't need you to do it the way I did it. I want you to do it. That's why I asked you. Okay?
Okay, so Anna, I'm you, and you're somebody who's called in.
You're going to be Barb, and Anna's going to be Nina. And Nina's this major mover and shaker who's an author, and she helps people and stuff. So she is a potential supporter for the Cure Drive. She's a genuine, bona fide potential supporter who knows people and who can do things, who can make things happen. And you're doing part 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're getting part 2 up. Okay.
I'm looking at it here.
By the way, I use my smartphone to get part 2 up, so I don't have to do anything with my computer screen. Because you want to be you want to be watching these people's faces while you're playing this role. So it's better to use your smartphone to actually get the album.
Well, I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to take a while for me to find that.
Actually, you may not even be able to get it on your smartphone, to tell you the truth is. It's in my notes. I don't know if I can get
your notes on my smartphone.
Oh, that's right, we can't.
No, I don't think you can anyway.
Which is another whole thing.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Just start.
We should have an app for Cure Drive.
Let's just start.
So that's great, Nina. You know, people have actually cured cancer and heart disease doing exactly what you just did.
Really?
So that means you can too. Anybody can do this.
Wow.
So you cured something, yes? You tested yes?
I feel more expansive and lighter.
But you actually tested. Well, test again if you didn't. Did I cure something?
Did I cure something? Yes, I got that feeling again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're curing like this, you're in the cult. And when you're not, you drop out of it. When something cures you of curing things, you're out. You've lost your membership.
Okay, well, what does that mean?
Just that, you know. And you know, so we are curing things. And are you on Twitter? You're on Twitter. You have a Twitter feed.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah. Well, like, go to Twitter right now and call up Cure Drive. Actually, open your Twitter on your phone there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And on Twitter, put in Cure Drive, CUREDRIVE. And you'll get our Cure Drive Twitter feed.
You can tweet there. That's cool.
So we keep passing cures back and forth to each other all day, all the time. We are curing, and people who come and join us start to cure and do this also. Very inspiring.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, join us. Just join the thing there, and let's post what you just cured something.
Okay.
So do a little Twitter post there that start to articulate what it is that changed in you and what you cured.
Well, this is one of many things I do. I do lots of different ways of curing. I have a book that I wrote about it, all the things I've been doing.
That's great. So that's really substantial. So this, so type in what you cured here, and this will add to your substantiality.
Okay. Type.
Pretty soon you'll be writing a book about curing. I don't know what you call it. Curing on the road with the Cure Drive. So you're typing something there.
Cut. What was it? How did you feel as Nina, Anna? Because you were channeling Nina. So what was it like to be Nina?
Let's see. Well, maybe as Nina, I've done a lot of things, and I have experienced a lot of different methodologies, and I've cured myself in many ways. So I'm not sure where this all fits in.
So how did you feel with Greg? Like not sure where it fit in, or what?
Yeah, maybe.
Was there any like good feeling about
There was a good feeling about the way I felt with doing it, and it seemed interesting to me. And
you know what I noticed when you were Nina?
mm-hmm.
There was a place at the very beginning where, Greg was saying people have cured cancer and heart disease. And there was that moment where she was like, Nina was like, wow, really? She was like, oh, wow. With what I just did. But do you recall that?
Yeah.
That seemed like the high point.
Mm.
Greg?
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
Greg, could we dialogue too about this?
I can hear you. I'm involved. I'm there.
Okay, well, fine. How did you feel being Barb doing this?
Well, I'll come back now. Hold on. I got something on the stove here. That's why.
Well, we understand that you do have to eat.
I felt
as Barb, like
as Barb, she felt connected with the harmonic. She was connected with Nina. She was not really that interested. She was interested of the good stuff that was coming from Nina, and she felt Nina was with her, but might have been in her head still and thinking about things. But Nina was not objecting, so and she was not really saying anything that was disconnecting her. So she kept on with the outline. But wanted to actually have her experience contributing.
A couple of things came up for me as I was listening to you. At the beginning, there was that moment of very strong connection, and I felt like you really connected with Nina. I felt something there that was good. That Barb really reached Nina. And I saw in Anna that. I saw it when Anna was channeling me, and I saw that. And then it just seemed to peter out and slow down after that. And it just...
perfunctory.
It just... And part of that, then I started looking at the outline, thinking about the outline. And I think the outline may need to be, this area may need to be reworked to some extent. Like when you were telling her about the Twitter thing, you know, I guess you assumed you were on the phone. So you were like spelling it out for her and all because
Yeah, I assumed I was on Skype because I am on Skype, and you.
Yeah, because
So
I always when I was doing this, I assumed that they were in face to face, physically present together. You know, so I had that's the way I wrote the outline. Like I wrote in the outline like. See, what happens, Barb, is you hold your smartphone up and you say, this is our Twitter feed, you know, and it's on the screen. I didn't put the address there so you could read it out to somebody, you know, from the outline. But now that I'm thinking about it, you know, like obviously you wouldn't want to like try to send somebody to a Twitter feed in the middle of this. This is a very intense interaction.
Yeah, I debated about that, but I thought, okay, I'm going to go this way. I'll try that.
So, Barb, you be Nina. I'm going to be, this time I'll do this with Barb. You be Nina, and I'll be you.
Okay.
So how you feeling?
I have to say I feel more grounded, more relaxed. So. Yeah, it's good. So I'm more here with you.
Now you're like one of the seers of the world, right? I mean, you've done a huge amount of growth work and you help other people and so on. Am I right?
Yes.
And with all of that, in 5 minutes of doing this, you experienced a change.
Well, that is remarkable. That's true, yes.
Do you understand what that means?
I guess it always means there's further to go.
You what?
It means there's always further to go, I guess.
Well, it also means that you cured something.
Oh, that's good.
Like something that was wrong with you is gone.
Well, that's nice.
Now, I don't know how long it's going to stay away, so don't get too excited about this, okay? You with me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I just want to tell you a little about this. I think you should know a little about it, all right?
Right.
It's a cult.
What you guys are doing is a cult? Okay.
We are a cult. We are this tiny little group of people. We're all over the world. There are very few of us who do this. And we show it to people, and you know they succeed with it and they like it, and then they just sort of ignore it for the most part, okay? And some of us understand the ramifications of it.
I see.
There's
Okay.
very few people who actually understand what's going on. Like, you know, people have cured cancer with this themselves. They've cured their own cancer, heart disease.
Wow.
I have a friend, HIV positive. I showed him how to do this. He dropped his viral load to 0 in 3 weeks, from 3,000.
Wow.
You would think that this guy would rally the gay community, right? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think he did? Do you think he rallied the gay community?
Sounds like he did. No.
Well, he walks around, he's really happy to see me when he sees me, and he's really proud of his accomplishment. And he's told a few of his friends about it, and they say, hey, that's great. And he doesn't like have a clue about how to really even show anybody how to do it. Even though he's doing it. And you know, like I'd like to get him more involved, and he's like this gay guy's all over the place. You know, he's flibbity gibbet city.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're helping the idiots of the world. Hopefully you're not one of them. Okay, because I was hoping maybe you might be able... Look, we have a goal. We have an aim. The Cure Drive has an aim. Okay? We want people to know that they can cure things, like everybody in the world. You know how like people used to think the world is flat?
Yes.
Well, we want people to know the world is round and that people can cure their herpes. You got herpes?
Okay. Okay. No, not that I know.
Well, we can test for it in 2 seconds. Test this question. Do I have herpes in any of my bodies?
I got a little finger twitch.
You have herpes.
Wow.
It would probably show up on a blood test. A lot of people are asymptomatic. The problem is it causes heart disease, Alzheimer's, Bell's palsy. You got to cure it. You with me?
Yes.
Do you understand? That's important for you to do. We're not going to do that right now, okay?
Okay.
We don't have time to do that, but it's important for you. You need to understand this, that it's important for you to do that, because I know lots of healers who got sick and died, and so do you.
Wow.
You do, right? I mean, you remember your talented, wonderful healer friend who died of cancer, remember? You know, the great nutritionist who died of cancer is the best nutritionist ever, and he's dead.
That's true.
And he really was good. I mean, you learned a lot from him, and I had one too, and I learned a lot from him. He's dead. He's gone. And I'd like him to be around so he can learn more. And he told me he was going to do this, but he ignored it for too long, and he just couldn't get with the program at the end. He wanted to cure it.
Okay.
And he knew this worked. These people know this works. I'm telling you that we're in a world full of people who know this works, and they can't or won't or whatever. They're just, you know, they're mired in their lives. Okay? So, here's the question. How can you support this? What can you do for the Cure Drive? Now that the Cure Drive has done something for you, what can you do for the Cure Drive, Nina?
Oh boy.
What will you do right now, in this instant, for the Cure Drive?
I'm going to try to keep carrying this thing. I finally keep doing it. And
No good. Come on, what can you do for the Cure
I
Drive?
can tell some of my friends about it.
All right, get on your smartphone and communicate with them however you do right now. I'll sit here and watch, okay?
Okay.
You have to support right now. This isn't like supporting it tomorrow, okay? It's supporting it now.
All right. Here, I'll put it on my Facebook. I'll just say I just cured something.
There you go. You just shared it on Facebook. Fantastic.
Barbara. Yeah.
And make sure they have the address of the Cure Drive. Here's the web college. Go to this, and then copy this and paste this on your. Do this on your smartphone now. Just paste this on your Facebook wall. Okay. Here we go. All right, cut. That's part 2. That's what it looks like, guys. Got it? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have reached the end of our meeting. By the way, I want to thank everybody for being honorable and noble and not arguing with me when I nailed you and, you know, I'm telling you all this stuff about yourselves. And I appreciate you for just really pushing forward and actually learning. You know, it's what makes you great. Truly. It's what makes you great. Anna, you're great.
We're great.
You have greatness.
We are.
Ross has greatness. Greg has greatness. Greg paid for this thing. You wouldn't have it without Greg. You would not have any of this without Greg. He paid like $1 million probably for it. This shit costs money doing this. So just know, you are in hallowed company. You were on holy ground when you were here in the Cure Team meeting. One thing I think that Anna, Barb, get together on the phone, Skype, whatever, after this meeting, later today, whenever you guys have time, get together and practice this outline together, okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
All right?
Okay, I'll up later today and I'll find you.
Later, okay.
And I thank you all again very much. It's really fun. I've had a lot of fun in this meeting. Did I sound like I wasn't enjoying myself? Because I enjoyed every second of this meeting, I have to tell you.
You always do.
Yeah. You sounded like you did.
Good. All right. Well, I did, and I sounded like I did. So my expression matches my inner state, which is very good. All right. Let's all go to the 144th dimension.
All right.
By the way, there's something else I wanted to tell you, Anna, before we go. I think this laughter yoga you've been doing is working for you.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, like, when we were, like, like I was, like, telling you stuff and, like, telling you made mistakes and stuff, and you would just laugh. It was really funny, too. I mean, I thought those were very appropriate moments to laugh.
You did. All right.
It's nice to see that, Nice to see you laughing. Keep laughing.
I intend to.
Me too. There was a time when I realized that if I don't keep laughing, my face becomes very ugly. And what I mean by that is not just when I'm making a movie or something, but I mean just like when I'm going through my day, like I have to keep laughing, because if I don't keep laughing, and that means if I cure things, I always laugh. Whenever I cure something, I generally laugh at that moment. And that fixes my face, because otherwise my face starts to turn down and I get lines and I start to age. Laughter keeps us young. It's just good for us to laugh. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm on the 144th dimension.
All right.
And we too. And thank you.
Thank you. Good to see everyone.
Yeah. Find you later.
Here you see the home page of curedrive.org, which is the Cure College on the web that we have put here for you to come learn how to cure medically incurable diseases. Now, at the top of the page, the home page, which you should be on right here, and I want to recommend, if you have not already, get to this page by opening a tab. Do not turn this movie off. Open a tab so that you can still hear me talking. And leave this tab open and then go to this website. Now the tally that you see, 132K, people ask, where does that come from? And if you notice, right above it, and this is, by the way, on every page in the web college, it says Report Cure. If I click on that, it goes to a page where there's a little form to fill out where you can report your cures. Now I will press the incredible back button and go back to the home page of curedrive.org. And also, if you want to contact us, there's a little link here that says Contact. And you'll notice that we put our phone numbers in here. we feel more comfortable being called on the phone. So it's just easier to talk, and this is a very big subject, and we find that it saves us time and work if people call us. Now we document our cures. This movie that you're watching here is an example of that. This is a movie where people cure things on camera, and you watch them. You watch them curing things. For example, the woman here, and at this point in the movie, is curing a flu. And if you watch this movie, you'll discover that she comes in with fully developed flu symptoms, including headache and God knows what else, and the symptoms disappear in around 20 minutes. That's how fast this is. Personally, I have not had a flu even try to come on since 1993, when I cured my herpes. My 20th anniversary, by the way, just passed. 20th anniversary of my herpes cure in April of 2013. Okay, if you look again above the Cure Drive, logo, I guess it is, and what you'll see is the Cure Show. There's a link to go to the Cure Show, and the Cure Shows are another way that we documented our cures. And for example, you'll find letters at the top of the Cure Show, and if you click the letter F, it takes you to fibromyalgia, where you see a lot of, or 2 people curing fibromyalgia actually. And underneath it, there are many, many shows on flu. We had a flu hotline. And what you'll find with this is that people with similar conditions get parallel results. Like these people who cured their flu, or I don't think we ever had a person come in to cure the flu that, you know, was just getting it. You know, they all had it for a couple of days. There they are. And they, you hear their flu cure during the call in around 20 minutes. So there are about 100 diseases represented on this page. Acid reflux, abuse. There are, you know, conditions can be considered diseases also. Oh, such as traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the, you know, World Trade Center attack. A woman actually cured her traumatic stress syndrome from that. So now if we're back on the home page again, and up here at the top it says Login Hub, and or sign up. If you don't have a password, you can sign up, or you can log in, and you come to the hub of the Cure College. This is the hub, not the home page. And new people who come here, many people just come in and get a password right away. They instantly get a password and come in, and they say, "What is this?" It's gigantic. Over here, this is the basic skill. Skill 1 is cure physical diseases. And it has 10 applications. Remove viruses, cure cancer, end trauma, recode your DNA. With certain diseases, you must recode your DNA to cure the disease. This may be true, for example, of viral-based diseases such as herpes simplex, Epstein-Barr, and so on. And each one has 2 links underneath it. Now if I click on where it says lessons under Recode Your DNA, and these are the lessons. There's this huge page of lessons on recoding DNA. And one of the lessons is remove adverse DNA mutations you catch from other people. Bet you didn't know you were doing that. But you do, and here's the lesson on that, and then you scroll down and there's all these questions. That's how the lessons work. You probably, if this is the first movie you've ever watched, you are probably not ready for a password right now. But you should probably know this is here at the same time, and some things about it. For example, here's an application of Skill 1, which is, what is Skill 1, do you recall? Cure physical diseases, right? And it's called the safety web. See it? Right here, the safety web. If I click on that, what I come to is a page of lessons about, and there's quite a few lessons on this page, about the safety web. Now basically, it's very simple. God isn't going to let you fail. A woman asked me, I was telling her to remove all bacteria from her physical body. And she said, well, if I remove all bacteria from my physical body, will I remove my beneficial intestinal bacteria? And I said, no. You're not going to remove your beneficial intestinal bacteria. You're going to, God won't let you do that. You're safe. However, there's more to the safety web than that. So you'd want to know about the safety web. Also, there's an application called Knowingness is Power. Most people ignore it. The reason it's here is because knowingness is curative. A lot of times things that you cure happen just because you know something. Now, curing physical diseases is the lowest level of study in this web college. For example, here, which is in the mid-level, there's a skill called 3 spiritual diseases. Do you see it? That's only skill 9. There are 12 skills. So another one is about function. Reinstall your functions. Another one is about reclaiming your immune system so that you can be immune to these things and you won't have to cure cancer or herpes. You won't not get it. As I said before, have not had a flu in 20 years. I haven't had a flu even try to come on in the last 20 years. Okay. If you're not ready for a password yet, and by the way, when you're new, you're probably better off with one of these options. These are the best options for new people, which are next to the movie. And that's when you want to start and you're ready. You're ready. You've like learned it and you understand how to do it. What you probably want to start getting a signal first. And if you notice under this movie, you should start getting a signal when you watch during this movie, which is now 4.5 hours, and there's many illustrations of people getting signals, so hopefully you'll pick it up while you're doing that. But if not, there's an entire page of signals, including a movie that plays automatically at the top, which is a very good lesson with a lot of very serious people getting signals as the movie goes along, illustrating how they get signals. And then there are all these other movies about signals as you go down the page. This little tripod is wandering. I'm trying to hold this with my hand while I show this to you. So now, that's an example of some of the other things that are on here. This is our Twitter feed, this black thing, so that you can see what advanced people, because everybody who posts on this has been doing it for a while and, are curing things. A lot of these people have already cured their herpes or their other thing that they came to cure, their chronic fatigue syndrome and so on, and now they're, this is just some things I cooked. It's not about cooking, okay? But anyway, there's lots of people just talking about what they're the more advanced things that they're doing, and these are all people who've cured many things in the past. and probably never get the flu, as I don't. None of us ever get the flu anymore. We don't get sick in that way. That's pretty basic, not getting the flu. So if you're not ready for a password, the thing to do is just keep watching movies. And let me show you something about that. There are lots of movies to watch. Here's one that says I cured it in 10 minutes, and lots of people are interested in this. This is a popular movie. This woman is very experienced with this. She's been doing it about 15 years. And but see, if you go down on this movie to here where it says YouTube, and let's click on this. Let's go to the YouTube page, which is the same movie. See, you're on the same movie now. And right underneath it, there's something that says, let me just show this to you. Cure Drive is the account that the movie is in. And you see it says it has 352 videos. So the thing to do is to click on that and go in to the Cure Drive account with the 352 movies. And then, once you're there, subscribe to the account so that you can get back to it easily. And then there are other accounts too. This is not the only account. Some of them only have 25 movies. There's about 10 different accounts. But there's another one that has 250 something movies on it. This is deceptively simple and easy. As you watch these people in these movies, the cure is always instantaneous. And it gives the impression that it's over and you don't have to continue. You don't have to study. And then you get sick again because you didn't get deep enough and get everything. With that being said, I want to show you these women curing something instantly and leave you with the thought that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be. I think when you watch these women, that's what you see here, that it's probably not going to be what you expected it to be, but it does cure, it probably will if you hang in there and stick with it. You probably will cure the thing you came to cure. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay,
Okay.
both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.